As empires collapsed and new powers rose, one young ruler tried to steer Egypt through the twilight of an old world. This is the story of Khedive Abbas II, an unsung architect of modern Egypt, who navigated a treacherous path between colonial ambition and national awakening. When Abbas II took the throne in 1892, he was just 18 years old. He inherited a kingdom that was a paradox, officially a part of the Ottoman Empire, but in reality, occupied and controlled by Great Britain. Imagine being a young leader caught in a three-way tug. On one side, you have the British, who hold the real power. On another, the distant Ottoman Sultan, to whom you owe allegiance. And finally, the rising tide of your own people, Egyptian nationalists demanding independence. This was the impossible world Abbas II stepped into. From the very beginning, he refused to be a mere puppet. While publicly he had to cooperate with the powerful British Consul General, Lord Cromer, behind the scenes, Abbas II was a master of subtle resistance. He knew open rebellion would be crushed. Instead, he chose diplomacy, intrigue, and strategic alliances. He became a quiet patron of the nationalist movement, funding newspapers and supporting figures who openly criticized the British occupation. This was a dangerous, double game. He was telling the British one thing, while empowering those who sought to undermine their rule. Historians call this his unsung architect strategy. He wasn't building a new empire. He was carefully designing the foundations for a future independent Egypt from within the crumbling walls of the old one. He skillfully played the great powers against each other, using his nominal loyalty to the Ottoman Empire as leverage against British demands. He understood that Egypt's best hope for autonomy lay in keeping the imperial giants off balance. He wasn't just a political figure. He was also a cultural one. Abbas II championed Egypt's unique Islamic identity and traditions as a form of resistance against British cultural dominance. He became a major patron of education, art, and intellectual circles, fostering a sense of national pride and consciousness when it was needed most. He knew that for Egypt to one day be free, its people had to believe in themselves and their culture first. Naturally, this put him on a collision course with the British authorities. His frequent clashes with officials like Lord Cromer became legendary. The British saw him not as a partner, but as a disruptive force, a constant thorn in the side of their colonial project. They accused him of intrigue and manipulation, and they weren't wrong. Abbas was using every tool at his disposal to press political appointments and secret diplomacy to chip away at their control. To them, he was a threat to stability. To many Egyptians, he was a symbol of hope. Then, in 1914, the world changed forever. The outbreak of World War I forced everyone to choose a side. Caught between his nominal overlords, the Ottoman Sultan, and his de facto occupier, Great Britain, Abbas II made a fateful decision. He sided with the Ottoman Empire and the Central Powers. For the British, this was the final straw. While Abbas was abroad, they acted swiftly. They officially deposed him, declared Egypt a British protectorate, and abolished the title of Khedivate. His reign was over. Abbas II would spend the rest of his life in exile, watching from afar as the country he tried to guide was fully absorbed into the British Empire. His removal marked the definitive end of Ottoman-era Egypt and the beginning of a new, more direct phase of colonial rule. For decades, history was not kind to Abbas II. He was often dismissed as ineffective, a ruler who failed to stop the British takeover. But that's a simplistic view. More recent historians see him in a different light. Not as a failed leader, but as a shrewd strategist who did the best he could under impossible circumstances. He wasn't ruling an empire at its peak. He was managing its decline, trying to salvage what he could from the wreckage. His quiet resistance, his support for nationalism, and his refusal to be a colonial puppet played a crucial role in awakening the Egyptian spirit. He may not have achieved independence in his time, but he was one of the key architects who laid the groundwork for the generations that followed. Khedive Abbas II is a ruler history nearly forgot, but his legacy is woven into the very fabric of modern Egypt, a testament to a leader who dared to challenge an empire, not with armies, but with intellect, strategy, and unwavering hope. Thanks for watching. If you found this story of hidden resistance fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Hidden Histories. See you next time.